and succulent growers, it's Lynn, and in today's video it's a little bit of a sad, or sort of sad video anyway. Now this is my Epiphyllum German Empress that I've had for about 15 years, and it's a very old plant. I got this at a Mind, Body and Spirit festival in Dublin about 15 years ago, and I got it from a lady. It was second hand. She said that she'd had it grown in her porch for many years. She's quite a few decades. And when I got the plant, it was quite small, but it was very healthy. And this gorgeous epiphyllum might not look so gorgeous at the moment, but it does produce the most incredible of stunning pink blooms in the spring and summertime. Beautiful bouquet every year. Really stunning pink flowers, as you can see here by the photos. However, last year I had a problem with this epiphyllum. Now, before I go into how it's looking at the moment, it was probably about May time when it normally comes into beautiful bloom. Now, it formed a load of buds, but the buds, we had a very windy spell in the spring last year, and a lot of the buds blew off because this was bouncing against the fence, and the buds sadly fell off, and the ones that were remaining didn't continue to flower. And when I looked close, they actually had very tiny green fly on the buds, and then they all dropped off. So last year was the first year I didn't have it in bloom, which was disappointing. Anyway, we also had a very hot, sunny summer last year, more sunnier than usual. These are out. I put my epiphyllums out in the yard in the spring and summer on the left side, so they get a bit of morning sun, but not all day sun. But it was that hot during the summer in Ireland and the UK that this got a lot of sun damage and went sort of very yellow. So I put it into the polytunnel, a little bit shaded under the cover, greened up again, formed a load of new growth. However, it wasn't doing so well towards the autumn time, and I keep all of my epiphyllums, most of them anyway, except for a few of my seedlings and that, in the polytunnel to overwinter during the winter months. They overwinter perfectly okay at 5 Celsius, about 41 Fahrenheit. But this one, because it wasn't looking so good, I wanted to keep a close eye on it, and I took it into my kitchen to keep an eye on it, and it has slowly been deteriorating. And I'm going to show you what's wrong with this plant. This is probably one of the more healthier sort of leaves here. But what I find has happened is that it will have these new leaves. These are what formed over the summer and into the autumn. And then after time, the very top starts to go yellow and spreads down, such as what's happening with this here. It goes yellow and eventually goes down, and the leaf completely dries up. These are all these cut off parts here. I've had to continually keep cutting it off all through this winter. And this is how they end up like that. I've kept these on because I wanted to show you for this video here. That's how they go. So they sort of start off like that. And then this yellow sort of appears there and spreads down. You can see the leaf looks very dehydrated, even though I have been watering this because it's indoors. And then it eventually goes completely brown and crispy. Now, there's no signs of any insect pests or anything on this. I think it's been under a huge amount of stress with the hot summer we had. Even in the polytunnel, they'll put it in the shade to recover. It was so hot. But it should be recovering by now. I'm not sure why these new leaves, and I bet my bottom dollar this will eventually, over the next few weeks, this will start to go yellow and spread down again, like what is happening with these here, and eventually ending up like that. I really don't know what's happened. Now, I have took some cuttings of this plant and I've tried to propagate it, and it has been rooting over the winter, the cuttings, but then they also start to go like this with this yellow and spread down. I just want to mention it's not down to a deficiency, not that I'm pretty sure of anyway, like magnesium and other type of deficiencies that can cause these yellowing leaves. And that's because I have been fertilising this epiphyllum well, so I know it's not that. There's something going on, and I'm fearing it's some type of virus that is affecting this plant, especially as epiphyllums are so easy to propagate. Normally I'd just cut a leaf, even in the winter time, and let it dry for a couple of days, stick it in water, and they root really well. But the cuttings I've took from these have rooted, as I mentioned, but they end up just going like this, starting off yellow, going down, spreading down, and then eventually just dying off, going into this crispiness here. As I say, I got the scissors, I was cutting off some more of these crispy leaves, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to do a little bit of a video. I wish I could say what was causing it. I don't know whether there's a couple of things I can think of. One is this plant has just been under a huge amount of stress with the summer, and the other thing is it's possibly a virus, and that would explain why when I'm trying to propagate the healthy leaves, when I cut them, it's still going yellow and spreading down. And if it's a virus, you know, I have made a video on Epiphyllum plant virus before, and the most common one will be the spotting on the leaves and things like that. I find that my epiphyllums recover from that. It doesn't seem to spread to the other ones, and they make a recovery. This is something that's just this plant seems to be doing that I don't think it's making a recovery from. It's looking pretty bad. As I say, some of the leaves are hanging on. I'm hoping come the spring, now it's February tomorrow, so fingers crossed, this should start hopefully to pick up, but I'm going to be repotting it anyway. I'm probably having to prune, obviously I'm going to be pruning off all these dry bits and just see how it gets on. But it's also a very, very old plant. And sometimes, you know, plants are, well, it's not sometimes, plants are like humans, you know, they only, and animals, they have a lifespan. And is it because this plant is coming pretty much to the end of its lifespan? And I always say about propagating plants that are old and propagating them from leaf cuttings. But sometimes if it's in the genetics that it's old, the plant might just be giving up. I'm not quite sure. But I would do an update on this plant in the future. I would hate to lose it. And fingers crossed it should make a recovery. Got it here in my grow room anyway. It's close to the grow light, but away from too much direct sun. And as I say, I'm going to keep trying to take some cuttings as well. See if I have any more luck with the other ones. But I want to also keep as much of the leaves on this plant as I can, because the leaves act as their food as well. So fingers crossed for me. As I say, this is one of my favourite epiphyllums. It's a very hard one to get and find because it's one of the old ones, one of the old Disocactus varieties. And I really pray that this can recover. If you haven't seen the video I made on Epiphyllum plant virus and the causes, a different thing where you get the spotting on the leaves and that, then do check that video out. I'll link that video up above and down below in the video description. I've also made a care video on how to care for Epiphyllum as well. And I know I might not be a very good person to talk about it because I'm struggling with this one. This is something I've not encountered before, but I do very, very, very well with all of my other Epiphyllums, as I had done with this one until last year. So do check that care video out as well if you want to know more about these amazing epiphytic cactus plants and their beautiful flowers. And also if you want to know the difference between an epiphytic cactus and a desert cactus, I think it's pretty much obvious, but a lot of people, if you're new to growing these cacti, do check them out as well. I'll link all them videos up above and down below. And thank you so much for watching, everybody. And it's the 1st of February tomorrow, so spring really is on its way. Please subscribe and don't forget to click the notification button. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Desert Plants of Avalon. And for more growing tips, do check out my website, desertplantsofavalon.com. I want to wish you all a fantastic plant-powered day. Oh, I hope this recovers.